Oh, hi. Bert would also like to say hello. So, there's a project I've been wanting to do for a very long time. What better time to try a dog bed DIY than when you've recently adopted a new dog? My head's too big for this. I got this sweater, just a teensy bit oversized for me. Originally, this was gonna be a Katniss Everdeen project whenever Catching Fire came out. I don't think I've seen Mockingjay. Have I? Whatever Hunger Games movie, Jennifer Lawrence is wearing that cool, at the beginning of the movie, it's like a cool double directional wrap thing. It's like a infinity scarf, but it's split into two directions. Someone like custom knit that, but I was convinced I could cut a thick knit knobbly sweater into that same design, and I had piss poor luck the first two attempts, and then I bought this sweater being like, it is time, and then God, how many years has it been since that movie came out? Actually, I probably have footage of me trying to cut the other ones. I'm definitely going to put that as an exclusive video over on my Patreon if there's any remnants of that project in the world. You guys have earned some embarrassing shit from me. It is way too goddamn hot to be wearing this. As you can see, really big oversized sweater. As you can also hear, there's thunder rolling through. It's like mid-80s, peak humidity right now. I know it'll be cooler once this thunderstorm comes through, but it's fucking muggy as a motherfucker in here, and this is like sticking to me right now, and I've never felt more glamorous. So as I mentioned, I want to make this into a dog bed. Now I have another one of our disgusting old grimy ass pillows. I like the idea of stuffing the pillow into the body of the sweater and then using the top section and the arms as like a little cushioned edge. Is this what happens when you have heat stroke? My brain broke. I want it to have puffy edges so that there's like a big lip around it so it can contain his stinky little butt. So I guess we figure out how to do this, huh? This is very much going to be a winging it as I go type thing. So you're probably going to know better than me what you need for this project. This is a little thrift flip item we'll be using. P.S. We have to talk about the fact that that's like a thing now, right? Thrift flipping, because that's literally like the basis of my entire channel. Other than, yes, making stuff from scratch and doing dumb shit. That's my bread and butter, man. I just didn't know I had like a catchy, quippy, millennial hashtag to it. Look at me being on trend without even knowing it. Not that it has benefited me in the slightest view count wise or anything, because I didn't know what the fuck to tag things with. That'll be my project for the weekend. Side note to the side note. Is that lame of me? I feel like that's part of like online business growth, is going back and like categorizing your stuff or maybe retitling things. What I can tell, a thrift flip is when you buy a thing from the thrift store and then you alter it to make it something you like. That's like 90% of my videos on here. So it's not like I'm changing anything to follow the trend. I've just been doing it the whole time. All right, I'm gonna get off my hipster high horse now and make a fucking bed for my dog. I'm not actually gonna cut up any of the sweater, at least not yet. The pillow itself fits in the body of it, so I don't need to cut any slits or anything anywhere. So my first step is I'm gonna flip my sweater inside out and sew the bottom hem of the front and back right sides together. I did just double check that the pillow will fit in through the neck hole. If you're hand stuffing this with like polyfill or something, you don't have to worry about this, but if you're using like a full pillow, I would show you, but this one's super fucking disgusting because it's like 15 years old and we don't even use it anymore, which is why it's going to the dog now, because it's still pillows. It just is gross and has been drooled on by me for a very, very, very long time. Okie doke. Bottom is stitched. You can do it right sides out, but it's fine. Fine. I'm gonna stuff the pillow. Oh, wait. JK, LOL. I'm gonna flip this right sides out and then stuff the pillow into it, because that's how sewing things works. Okay, great. Is it cute? Do we love it? Great. Now I'm gonna stuff it off camera so you don't see the nightmare condition this pillow is in. I know like pillows don't stay pristine and white after you've owned them for a number of years, but I don't. Some things are meant to be private, okay? And I'm a mouth breather when I'm sleeping. I drool a lot and the evidence is everywhere here. And I'm not proud of it, okay? Okay. The pillow is in the bottom of the sweater. This looks hilarious. So the next step is I'm gonna push the pillow in a little more. I'll reposition it and fluff it up later, but I'm gonna stitch from armpit seam to armpit seam. So it's gonna go all the way across here. Whatever kind of stitching method you want to do is gonna be fine. No judgment here. This is definitely near the top 5 of weirdest things I've run under the sewing machine. Is real pain in the ass, shockingly enough. The upside is if you get tired while you're sewing, you just take a little nap. Pillow section is situated. Yeah, better than I was expecting, to be honest. What do with the top? I'm going to, ooh. Okay, I'm gonna see if this is gonna work this way. I'm gonna make sure they're like laying flat. Reach in on one side. I don't even know how to explain what I'm doing. Okay, so my arm is in one of the sleeves. I'm gonna pull this to keep the ends together, so I'm gonna be flipping it right sides together as I pull this sleeve into this one. I'm gonna pull it out, and I think if I sew these right sides together and pull it back out, that should close up this seam. Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna sew all the way around. If you couldn't tell by how I myself am doing it, very, very off the cuff. No pun intended. Excellent! Okay, so now we got this weird loop, and if you lay it down on top of the pillow, it's like it's hugging itself. Are you seeing where I'm going with this yet? Hey, remember when I said I was also going to be serging all the edges? LOL, that absolutely has not been happening. Things are going to take a weird turn, and like I just need you to ride along with me, okay? So I used to work at a costume shop, and they threw a lot of stuff out that was like not good enough condition to rent anymore, just had been outdated or overused or not in style and not getting rented anymore. And because I'm a hoarder and also hate seeing anything get thrown away that I see any amount of potential in, I have a bunch of bear pants. There's just an absolute mountain of bear mascot bodies, mostly the legs. For why? Just because I can't see things go to waste? I guess so. Why this is coming up, you may ask, is I'm gonna use these to stuff the sleeves because they're tube shaped and like I have no idea what else to use them for. Okay, so I have dissected 3 pairs. I'm just gonna like stuff them into each other. So I separated them into separate pant pieces. I assume they're called pants because it's 2 pants. We'll see how this works as a cushion. I'm not 100% sure it's gonna do what I want it to, but the only way to figure it out is to give it a go. So here we are. Obviously, I'm not expecting any of you to be using the same material because this is kind of a buck wild thing to have in your house. I like that it's weird enough it may get you thinking of something else you have laying around. I figure because I need to cram tubes into another tube, it would be easier to like layer the pant legs first and then just have like the outer shell to pull through everything. Fabric stuff especially, it's such a like sore spot for me. Seeing that kind of stuff end up in a landfill where it's like, you could easily make it into something else, but I know not everyone has the time or effort or cares. Why I'm like a raccoon in people's trash bins with their old clothes that they don't want anymore. Success! Okay. This thing is looking like a dog bed other than a giant gaping hole at the top. We got this cushion down here. That's great. These arms are like circling around beautifully. I left it a little flat where I have the cuffs attached to each other because I do want like an entry point for him because he's little and stumpy. I'm gonna have to do some hand stitching, which is gonna be fine. I'm listening to a really cool podcast about the Simpsons theme song, like the construction of the music, which I didn't know until like 15 minutes ago is Danny Elfman. It's so obvious now that they're like dissecting the song, but it had never occurred to me that it was him that composed it. So cool. Anyway, I'm gonna do some improvisational hand stitching to get this neck hole closed because it's so stuffed that I can't just do like a flat line across here. So I'm gonna like make the center meet and then flop these over. You'll see what I'm able to figure out at the end. This is gonna be a case-by-case basis as far as what your sweater neck is like. It's all done! I'm pretty into it. You can see how I kind of made the collar into like an H, like I closed the middle and then folded over the leftover on the sides. I just stitched along like the bottom of the sleeve to where like the bottom seam was on the very bottom of the shirt and then tried to match that distance along the sides here. I did stitch down this center bit because he tried it out last night and he kept hooking his feet down here when he would try to get in and out. He seemed to realize like, oh, that's the access point. So I'm pretty jazzed at how it came out. As I was trying to sew the sleeves to the body of it, I had it in my lap and he decided he too needed to be in my lap. And it was just the cutest goddamn thing, but I did need to relocate him so I could finish sewing it and he was not happy about it. Oh, speaking of the little devil, were you just getting into something you shouldn't have been getting into? Do you want to try out your new bed? Ready? Seems acceptable? Well, that's good. I'm glad you like it. Would you like a bone to chew while you're in there? Oh, you gotta go hide that somewhere? Okay. He's such a little goober. I love him so much. So, this was honestly much more successful than I expected. I thought it was gonna be harder to get enough room in the top to actually go all the way around. It was obviously a lot easier because it's such an oversized sweater, where I think like the sleeves are intentionally longer than they need to be and there's a ton of stretch to it. Finding a use for those fucking bare legs. I'm so excited, and that's also such an insane sentence to say. So yeah, this is just been my life for the past week and a half, and it's been fucking glorious, is spoiling the shit out of this little dude and making him as comfortable as possible. I still have like the bed I'm most excited to make, which I keep saying I'm gonna make it later today, and then like there's just not the time to do it. But before the end of this weekend, either next Wednesday or next Saturday's video is gonna be this fucking Birdie Bots bed. I'm really excited about it, and I need to just say that so that I don't let myself not finish it. I have a checklist of like 4 things I need to do. Each one is not that involved, but because it's a whole bunch of them, I keep like thinking the project is too daunting. So as with everything I do in my life, I need to break it down into a list and then just do them one by one. So it'll be good. It'll be great. Everything's gonna be fine, and I'm so excited to do it. That's like the very next thing on my list. Oh shit, except this is what happens. This is exactly what happens. I just realized I got a custom hat order from my Etsy shop. I fucking stupidly set all my stuff to both free shipping. I think I adjusted the prices on everything. This is one of the things I really need to check, and like the fact that hasn't been the first thing I've done indicates how much I hate dealing with the admin side of Etsy stuff, but that's such a big chunk of it, so I can't let that slide anymore. But I also have stuff set to like next day ship, but that should only be for things that are already made. I can't have that set for custom orders because I need to like get the supplies and then make it. So someone ordered something at like 11:55 last night, so it technically needs to ship today, and I don't even have the hat to customize yet, and I need to order it. Basically, I'm trying to keep all the plates spinning, but some are falling off a little tiny bit, so this is the kind of stuff that I'm trying to tend to while my Etsy shop is slow. This is just a matter of me messaging this person to make sure they're okay with me like taking another week or so to do this hat. But yeah, these are the things I need to sort out before someone orders it and I have to like make it a whole thing now. Okay, so I just went on a whole rant about reproductive parts that I've complained about it enough times. Although, hey, if you deal with endometriosis, let me know if you're willing to talk about it. Because I recently had my OBGYN be like, oh, by the way, that's almost definitely what you have. That's the first I'm hearing of it, and I've been seeing her for like 12 years. If you don't want to talk about horribly debilitating periods and just rest of the time, then we can just chat about dog beds in the comments. Also, tell me your best pet name. Is there a name of a dog or cat or whatever pet you've had throughout your life that you were like super fucking proud of? Because there was a woman at Joann's yesterday while I was buying fabric that said she has a really old dog named Boris, and that's gotta be one of my favorite names in the world. It's so good. In the meantime, I'm gonna make myself a big old breakfast and try not to throw it up at work today, so that's what I have to look forward to. Hashtag glam life. And yeah, maybe we can hang out and do a live stream later today if you're seeing this on Saturday, the day it's coming out. Whether or not you comment with the weird things I've requested or any other life choices you make after this moment here in time, I will be back here with another video on Wednesday. Thank you so goddamn much for hanging out. Oh God.